All right, guys, so this is week 12, lesson 2. This is on specifically multiplying rational expressions, okay? Multiplying because every problem that you see on this entire worksheet has multiplication. Rational because the things that you are multiplying look like fractions, right? That's what rational means. It's like a ratio, right? It's a fraction. And expressions because there is no equal sign. Okay, so they're not equations, you're not solving for anything, you are just simplifying. Okay, it's literally 2 steps. Okay, step number 1, you're going to want to factor anything that is factorable. Okay, that means if you have a plain old number, like, I don't even know, like 9, you would change that to 3 times 3. All right, if it's an expression, maybe you have to factor by GCF or difference of squares or factoring a trinomial, right? You have a lot of different methods of factoring. And then second, you're going to cancel, all right? You're going to cancel anything on the top with anything that's either identical or opposite that's on the bottom, okay? They don't have to be immediately on top of each other, right? Something could be kind of to the left and something else could be to the right. But as long as something's on the top versus something on the bottom, you can cancel it. All right, so I'm going to do 2 of these problems as my sort of examples, as my notes. You're going to do them as well, and then you'll finish the whole worksheet, and that's what you will be turning in. Okay, so the first one I'm going to do is number 1. Okay, I'm going to do number 1. I'm going to factor anything that I possibly can. Okay, so I'm looking at this thing, and I can tell that this up top is factorable. It's a factoring as a trinomial. It factors to be 5b plus 7 times 5b minus 4. Okay, so that's what I have on the top on the left. This 10, I can break that down to be 2 times 5. This does not factor, so I'm just going to leave it as 5b minus 4. This also does not factor. I'm going to leave it as 5b plus 7. Okay, so I did step 1. I factored everything. Next is the canceling step. So if you'll notice, this is on the top and this is on the bottom, and they're identical, which means I get to cancel them out. Okay. Likewise, if you check this out, this is on the top and this is on the bottom, and they are identical, so I can go ahead and cancel those out. So now the only thing that's left, right, the only thing that I haven't crossed out is this, and 2 times 5 equals 10, and that's the answer to number 1. Okay, the other problem that I'm going to do, right, is number 6, so that's on the second page. Number 6, let's take a look at 6. All right, so I'm going to factor anything that I possibly can. So let's see. Let me sort of put my skeleton. 1 doesn't factor. I'm going to bring that down. 2n minus 7, that doesn't factor, so I'm going to bring that down. N plus 3 doesn't factor. I'm going to bring that down. And this does factor. It has a GCF of 2. When I take 2 out, I'm left with 7 minus 2n. Okay. So now I'm looking for things top and bottom that are either exactly the same or opposites. So these 2 are opposites, right? 2n minus 7 is the opposite of 7 minus 2n, which means, yes, I can cancel them as long as I'm left with a negative 1 somewhere. Okay, you can put it up top, you can put it down below, you can put it out in front. It really doesn't matter where you put it as long as it's there. All right, so now when I multiply the stuff together that's left on the top, I get negative 2. And when I look and multiply together whatever's left on the bottom, I'm left with n plus 3, and that's the answer. And that's it. That's the whole lesson.